Hello, hello. It's your boy Hans, joined as always by my guy JP. And today we're doing something a little different. Why don't you tell us about it, JP?
So there's a lot of movies coming out right now, with the pandemic, it's pushed a lot of things back. And so now we're getting this influx of great movies, especially movies that we love, action movies.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to kind of deviate from our normal model and do what we like to call the rapid fire series, where
Rapid,
we
baby.
rapid and we just, we like to touch on, movies that have come out, trailers that are of note, news that we like to talk about, where it'll be no more than 10 minutes or less. And this week, we're going to talk about the incredible Nobody, starring Mr. Bob Odenkirk, Mr. Show himself, as Hutch Mansell, Connie Nielsen as his wife Becca, Christopher Lloyd as his dad. A lot of great cast in this too. Michael Ironside, Richter from Total Recall, the RZA,
The Jizza.
the RZA. God, he was great in this. So many great people. Directed by Ilya Nashuler, who, if you're not familiar with his name, he also directed a crazy movie called Hardcore Henry.
Oh, he did that? I
He
liked
did
that.
that.
It made me
Yeah.
kind of sick, but I liked it.
Me too. I get really bad motion sickness, so that movie I had to pause it a lot of times. But then what's really cool about this movie, it was also written by Derek Kolstad, who wrote all the John Wick movies. So that's why when you
That
watch
makes
this movie,
sense.
it has a very similar kind of feel, kind of vibe to that
Well,
movie.
I wrote, he's like if John Wick was Walter White.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. I heard I read a quote on not a quote but a little blurb on IMDb that it said John Wick meets Home Alone.
There's some of that. Yes, I also
Yeah.
sat down at that scene.
Yeah. But I mean, this our format for this is kind of just almost like you said, a freewheeling conversation where it's spoiler free. But we just want to just talk about this movie briefly and just, recommend it or not recommend it. But yeah, I mean, I
I love
loved this movie.
like if you want to go into this blind, like we won't touch on anything that isn't already in a trailer or something.
Yeah,
But if you're one of those people who wants to go in it blind, like we're gonna talk about it, but
sure.
we won't spoil any big plot points.
Won't spoil anything. So basically, the basic premise of the movie is Bob Odenkirk is a 9 to 5 guy. Takes the bus to work. Working guy. His wife is super successful. He has a family. A daughter and a son. And his house gets robbed, and he doesn't fight back.
Yep.
Basically,
Starts with a home invasion,
yeah.
and his son mans up and like tackles him. They're just basically like I took it as they were like smack addicts at first. Like they're just
something like that. Just low level, thieves, criminals, whatever you want to call them.
yeah.
And he basically just kind of, says,
He holds
let
back.
him go, son. He holds back. He holds back. And that really just messes with his head. And then you come to find out, from the trailer, you come to find out that he has a past. And in his past, he was the ultimate badass.
Yeah. He was
Like-
an auditor, I believe they call him.
Yeah, the auditor, the last
The
person.
last person you want to see.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
This is a great line.
And man, the action sequences were so good.
It starts quick too.
It
Like,
starts real quick and it gets really brutal, really fast.
I love how they like establish right on that he's just like a big old loser.
Yeah.
Until he isn't. Like everyone's so mean to him. Like the cops after are like a prick to him. His son's a prick.
Mm-hmm.
His neighbor's a prick. His brother-in-law's a prick.
Brother-in-law's a prick. His father-in-law's
oddly enough, not a prick.
not a prick. Very nice.
Michael Ironside is his father-in-law, and he's actually kind of nice to him. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah. Oh, I liked that too. And it's nice to see Michael Ironside doing big movies.
Yes, I love Michael Ironside. I mean, Starship Troopers, man.
Starship Troopers, Total Recall,
Rico, you know what to do.
Oh, he's great. One of those great
I love
like
him so
character
much.
actors. But yeah, I mean, this movie was just so well done. Does it break the mold of action movies? Not necessarily, but I think it does it really well. It doesn't take itself so seriously. It has a lot of great comedic moments in it.
It does.
Actually, a fun little fact about this movie is that there's a little bit of truth in this film. Bob Odenkirk had something similar happen in his home where he had a home invasion. And that,
Really?
yeah, and he talked to Derek Kolstad, the writer, about that, and that's why it was included in the film.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
I did not see that coming.
yeah. I listened to it on. He talked about it on the Smartless podcast on Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes' podcast, and how there was some kind of truth to that.
Wow.
And that he also trained for 2 years.
That part I was about to bring up. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Also, it shows.
It shows he's even in the beginning when there's a moment when his brother-in-law gives him a gun, he holds it like somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he falls into it. So when I first hear Saul Goodman's about to be John Wick, I'm like, no, he's not.
Yeah, like,
yeah, he is.
Mr. Show, he's always this kind of quirky, kind of Midwestern. He's from Naperville, he's this quirky dude who's like an action hero. Nah, but he put in the work. He put in the work, and it shows.
I had a note here because a lot of people were a prick to him, but when his neighbor's a dick to him, is that he's like the rich kid you have to beat in a ski race to save the youth center.
See you on the K-12, Meyer.
He's like, wish they would have tried that to me. And he drives away in the muscle car. That's so good.
Yeah, what a douche. But yeah, I mean, overall, would you recommend this movie to people?
Oh my God, yes. This movie's amazing. Like, there's so many great scenes. Like, there's there was a bus fight in the trailer, which is even better than I expected it to be. There's a Home Alone bit at the end.
Yeah.
Also, Papa Doc Brown.
Christopher Lloyd is his dad, and he's, without getting too much into it, he's awesome too.
Yeah.
The RZA is great.
Yep,
yeah,
he's just the smooth jazz on the CB radio.
Yeah, the smooth jazz. Oh, the music choices in this movie were great too. Just like the overall like kind of score, and then the song choices that they use.
Oh, I love the music. We got like Andy Williams, Pat Benatar. We're all over the fucking map.
Nina Simone.
So good. And like his pushing, like the point that pushes him over the edge is his daughter's kitty cat bracelet.
Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet, motherfucker!
I love it so much. It's so good.
Oh, it was so good.
And my favorite line of the movie from Doc Brown himself. Or no, he says to Doc Brown, says, "You brought a lot of shotguns. Brought a lot of Russians." He's so good. I love it so much. And then we get like these weird Home Alone vibes for no reason. Like, the villains, the angry Russians.
Yeah,
this is just a perfect villain. Also a John Wick thing.
I was gonna say, yeah, it seems to be pretty consistent with John Wickians. Yeah, John Wickian, if you will.
And we get an awesome road trip at the end.
Yeah, the little post-credit sequence.
Yeah. We get some sequels set up with like a RZA Doc Brown road trip. Sorry to spoil, but that happened.
Oh yeah. And I mean, you don't really spoil.
You don't know what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, I would highly recommend this movie. It's currently you can currently rent it, kind of like the early premiere, early access, I think is what Amazon's calling it, for $19.99. Yeah, for $19.99.
You can find an on-demand movie. It's on there.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
Totally worth it.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, that's all I got. Why don't you take us out?
Happy trails, Hans.